Hi everyone, welcome to the Advancement Centre and welcome to the world of magic and miracles. We're here again today to lift everybody back to where they were last week and the week before and many other times. And as we speak, you'll feel yourself actually go to that elevated platform of living that is way above anything that you can imagine with your mind. And as we do that, you can expand into the unknown part of your own being that you've never explored before. So as we do this, there's a strange sensation that comes from nowhere that belongs to you, and it's very familiar, but it's new. And it's a place where you've never been before, even though we keep saying we're going to that elevated platform of living and above. So this time, we'll just expand a little bit further and we'll gather that access that we always wondered about, the one that allows your magic to exist in this physical world. The area of your being that you normally don't take any notice of, but the one that makes you feel great when somebody walks near you, when someone takes notice, or when someone connects in a special way. It's more than physical. It's beyond anything that you can place in your logical mind, but it's not beyond anything you can explore. So we talk about magic and we have a lot of pictures of descriptions and movies and all those things that they talk about magic. But the greatest magic of all is when you feel your inner flame light up and transmit something you've never known before. And you don't even care about the reason, as long as it happens. Your mind wants to collect an image to work with. But as soon as you feel that part of yourself that's beyond the mind actually disappears. And you start to work from another plane and from many planes in such a way that your dimension is the most important thing in all of life. The dimension that you belong to, you made. And it fits perfectly in every world. And it fits perfectly in the physical world. And that's why you can feel it so well. The more interaction it has from those unknown fields, the more special energy it generates, and the more it achieves in your life. It doesn't achieve the things that you planned, it achieves the things that your destiny is all about. It achieves those unknown things that thrill you and make you smile because you know about them and nobody else does. The special feelings that are nothing to do with emotion, and they're nothing to do with anything we can describe. But they're brilliant, they're uplifting, and they have a character that only you can understand. And this is why when you follow your spirit, everyone can see what you're doing, but there's no rhyme or reason to any of it, except that smile on your face and the glow in your eyes and the uplifted feeling that you generate to everybody around you. So now that we are able to play with this, you can see the whole difference between living in the world of your creator and living in the play world. In the world of your creator, it's endless It's light. It has no reason, has no beliefs. It just is absolutely marvelous. We've all worked hard in our lives in the play world, but many of us have always known that that's not the world we should be in. And so we get together now and allow our fields to interact so that the lightness of our real being comes to life. The interaction is nothing to do with speech or touch. It's an interaction of immense value where your whole being passes through the beings of everybody else and enlivens yourself and them to an extent that you cannot explain. The motion of even your hands and your expression generates something special for everyone. Just like the times when a child smiles at you and you feel this sudden rush of something like a thunderbolt, and then they run off and go somewhere else. You know that you've received the full content of their life, and it's passed through you, and it is now indelibly embedded in your field. As we increase our awareness of the things that actually happen around us, we will find that we'll be looking ahead rather than back. We'll be looking ahead because we know something's going to happen. It's been proven, even scientifically, that we have an effect on the random fields that exist in the Earth's plane and above, where random numbers change because of the human entity. But nobody thought of the fact there's a random field, and that's where we belong. In that random field, unpredictable, joyful, and exciting. And the only thing that can follow that random field is your own spirit, your own knowing, your own feeling of being alive. And it follows that random pattern, which generates unknown features in us and around us. And it continues on and on, longer than forever, and increases at whatever rate we wish. Not wish by the mind, but wish by our movement and our action and our willingness to follow our own spirit and feel the destiny that is in place for us, not the destiny that we decided we should have. Many of us are passing through this world, and we're not going to experience the ultimate destiny until we pass. But a major majority of the people who are here now will live out their destiny in the physical plane with the ability to move into any plane they wish and to develop whatever comes to them as their unique gift to the world. I've often spoke about creating your own dimension and how people do that and don't really realize that they are actually creating a space where two or more can talk to one another and nobody else knows what they're talking about. This is the same in the universal realms. You can connect yourself to anything and anyone. And you don't have to know what it is. And in doing so, you select the perfection that most suits your being. And you don't do it by thought once again. It's done by feeling the greatness of the being that you are and being game enough to spread yourself further and further into what you thought was the unknown, into the places where you thought might be scary. And it only takes a fraction of a second for you to test anything. As you follow your spirit, you will be directed to the most comfortable path through everything in this life and in others. But even if you use your logic, you can see that if there's more components added to your life from other realms, from other worlds, you have a greater chance of knowing the world of your creator. So the more you add, the more depth of field you get, and the more dimensions come together to form a more realistic hologram of who you are. And that hologram people can see, but they don't see it with their eyes. They see it as an amazing person with an amazing glow, oozing prospects that they've never heard of before. So each one of you has an enormous capacity to draw on. And it's done by simplicity and without effort. The least effort you put in, the greater your capacity. The more relaxed you are, the stronger your field. And the further you will go in every world, with a smile on your face and a lightness in your heart. So as we speak regularly about advancement, we're actually touching a little part of you that is your driving force. It's the driving force that takes you through everything in the universe. And it doesn't need anything to tell it what to do. It's the excitement of advancing without any proof. And when you decide you don't need any proof, it rolls in so fast that you don't even stop to count it. Everything you do falls in line with everything around you. And everything you don't do does exactly the same. So one of the things that stands out as you move further into the world of your creator is that all the things that hold you on the ground are slowly but surely becoming lighter or disappearing, or sorting themselves into a harmony that lifts your whole being. So we're not far off lifting off the ground. And even though we think we need science to do that, I can assure you we don't. We're about to move to where everything about our nature comes alive. Everything about the world that we see through other eyes will appear physically in the world around you. And the swirling mists that you're starting to see every now and then are really not pollution. Much of them are electromagnetic and gravitational fields that are starting to show themselves to you. And as those fields come into line and into harmony, in nature, they're clear. But in the fixed fields of buildings or of people who have fixed minds, it's hard to see. It's like you have a dark mist. So many of the things that you've read in the storybooks about the mystics, about angels, about all sorts of things of that nature, and fairies, there is more to them than just the being. Their interaction with you, with the world, changes everything. And the further we go, the more we'll be allowed into the realms that we've read about. It seems like all the special parts of our life, of our being, of our worlds, belong to somebody else. But in fact, they only belong to you as an individual and not as a group. Because the group can create a disturbance but that's not life. Life is yours, and how you create it is yours. And individual situations in the physical world will change because you see them differently. And it doesn't take any practice. The more we see the simplicity, the more we will accomplish what's just beyond our touch at the moment. You can look back in life and you can see that there are many things you've done and proven that are really no use to you now. But they were good at the time. In the world of magic and miracles, that never happens. You don't ever look back. The miracles keep happening. The magic keeps happening. The entertainment is there continually. And all you can say is, wow, life is great. You don't have to say that event yesterday was really good, because it improves minute by minute, day by day, and it never stops. And when we talk about difficulties, you'll find that you get bogged into a place where you got all your brakes on and you stopped all movement, and you're only focused on the mud you're standing in right now. But if you're moving, your feet don't even touch the ground. The events come and go, and there's no hardship. They change character, they move on. The event becomes minute, and you don't know how to amplify it because there's too much happening. So as we drift off into the distance, either in our spaceships or just where we like to go, all those minor things don't have a position. Like you can't take your car on your aeroplane unless you've got a really big one. So the things that are servicing you at 1 minute are not necessarily servicing you the next. And this is the key to the beauty of life. Continuous change, no ability to hang on to anything, even a memory, because there are people who are allocated in everybody's life to fill in every hole. You don't have to hold all those things. Many of the people that hold my life together aren't on this plane. So if I can't remember something, I wait. And it just pops in its own time without me even thinking about it. And many of you do that. You say, who's that person? I know the name, but I can't get it. And you get on with doing something else, and then all of a sudden the name's there. That's a provision from another realm, from another dimension, from one of those dimensions that I talk about that are held within a sparkle. And we have all these sparkles around us that are all the entries to different dimensions that hold a part of our hologram. We're not the same as described by the scientists, by the mystics. We're star people, and we look like it, and we exist like it, and we have stars around us. And each one of them feeds into our body and into our being to keep us in the correct balance and totally alive at all times. So you only have to see that you have all these stars around you that we've all called sparkles, and everything in your being comes alive straight away because you've allowed their connection. And you can reach out and touch them, and they'll just vibrate and sparkle and feed energy to you that you've never thought of. When we approach one another and we're at a higher vibration than one another, we sometimes get sparks. We get discharges, we get incompatibilities. You have to know that that is not how it works. You have every vibration possible in your system. And the one that's harmonious is the one you go with. The one that feels perfect is the one you go with. But you don't have to decide that, and you don't have to hold that. You just follow your spirit, and that'll take you to where it's perfectly balanced every time. And know that you can stand way, way above it and look down and see what it's doing. So it's not a matter of interacting in a certain manner. It's a matter of allowing the interaction to control itself. And if the mind comes in, you can be sure that you're trying to control something. If joy comes in, you're not trying to control anything. From here to wherever you want to go, there's a perfect path. But I can assure you it's not straight. And it doesn't always go forward. And it doesn't always go up. And you don't need to worry about that because you're in a universal world that has no time, no space. You can turn upside down, it doesn't matter. Because relativity developed on the earth plane. There's no relativity anywhere else. And that's why sometimes you know something's going to happen, because you are ahead of time. And you also know that something that did happen is actually going to disappear, because you're in all dimensions. The step forward that we talk about is not necessarily the right direction, but at least it's a step, and it's the movement that will allow you to dance. And you will change direction as the rhythm comes upon you. And as each one of us plays with that dance, we'll feel the harmony and we'll follow our spirit, just like little children. And we'll know beyond a doubt there's much more to us than we've ever known before. So in gathering together, we individually experience what we want to experience. We don't experience one thing that one person puts in front of us. The ability for each one of you to arise above everything, look down on it, laugh, have a lot of fun, celebrate, and get on with life is amazing. Every time I sit to talk, I have no idea what I can deliver. But as soon as the brain gets out of the road, we all know. And we all lift something and change something. And we all feel comfortable and happy to do what we do. And in all that, you can all feel that you're making a difference to the world at the same time, because what you're transmitting is so important that it cannot be neglected. What you've brought to this world that you don't even understand, you know, is much more important than anything that you've ever known. And the fact that you can feel yourself transmitting and you can feel yourself making a difference is all you could ever wish for. The coming time will be magnificent. But you can have that time right now. You can step into that world because it exists right now. You can see yourself in that perfection, and it's there. Simply because you don't have to follow the timeline. And you don't have to worry about whether the rest of the world will catch up. It doesn't matter. Everyone has their own individual world that can be at whatever level or dimension or time span they wish. And it will not disturb the rest of the world. It will only make it better. So I encourage you to take that step into the future that you've been waiting for. And don't wait any longer. Just step in there and live it. And anything that doesn't fit that picture, don't be afraid to say that's not part of my world, and watch it disappear. There'll be many times when you want something to disappear and it explodes in your face. But you've got to know that there's always another way. And you only have to sit with that for a little while, and your being will just expand and find that other way. And you won't have to do anything. It will just be done. And out of nowhere, just like the name of the person, it will appear. This is the way you access the special part of your being that is totally serviced throughout the universe and given freely anything and everything that it needs. You don't access it through your brain. You access it through the fact that you know there's another way. You know you can make a difference even though you don't have the resources, because there's another way. And each one of us finds that unique way without physically knowing in your awareness exactly what you're doing. But you do know in that special part of your being that you are totally in tune with the finest outcome that you could ever imagine. So as we, excuse me, I got that friendly fly again. So as we step into the future and don't even concern ourselves with how we did it, you'll feel you've done it. You can talk to one another and say, I think I did it. I think I stepped into the future. I think I'm there. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a whole lot different. I don't feel like I'm constricted by age or process. I just feel an elevated being. Dare to do it and dare to live it forever and never let it go. And the life you used to have will seem so small. You'll say, why didn't I do this before? So all I can say right now is that we have a marvelous future. We have a marvelous life. And we have a marvelous now. We have capabilities we never thought of. And it's not measured by anything that we have at the moment. So look forward to major steps forward in all sorts of areas, not just in technology, but in beyond technology. And see that people are starting to demonstrate that little bit of superhuman that we didn't think we had. People spinning around on one hand that you normally couldn't hold yourself up on. People doing all sorts of beautiful things that you didn't think was possible. And people knowing beyond a doubt that they're connected to one another because they can hear one another without any words being said. And the evolution of our senses has taken place already. So every one of you can just project to anywhere and feel and know whatever you want. You can attract a person from the other side of the world, and you can know that they're there. And you can actually change your focus and be in front of that person. Just like you could go to the beach when you were supposed to be doing your homework. Everyone is capable of doing that. But know now, beyond a doubt, that is our life, not the life that we've been delivered. We're majestic beings, and we live a majestic life that includes magic and miracles, and that includes capabilities that are a mystery to everyone. And nobody can touch your trip to the beach when you're doing your homework. So rely on the features that you have and know that they're stronger than even your physical body, and that they can take you to where you want to go and deliver it in the physical world without repercussion. You can fall off a roof when you're dreaming, and you know beyond a doubt you're not going to hurt yourself. That is exactly where we live, and that is how we will live if we step into the future. Everything around us will fall into place, and the mysteries will just continue to come and occupy everyone with an amazing lightheartedness and ease that we've never really mentioned to one another. But I can assure you, we're ready. It's easy. And there's nothing more to do except say, perfect life, perfect health, and a magic future for everyone. Thank you.